All right, another day, another trim session at Wawayanda. Here I am going across this bridge to the various irrigation ditches, but ends up on this beautiful grass here. It's a couple weeks thicker than it was the last time, so hopefully the landings are that much softer. Okay, I've had a few shorter flights, and we even have the moon over there with us. I've been working my way up just to see where it is with power since I've had those test glides in the backyard, and it looks good so far. It hasn't turned yet, so I'm going to think that as it goes up and winds, the torque's going to start making it turn one way or the other, but I can help force it over that way. I just gave it a little tweak of rudder, left rudder, since I'm thinking from the get-go I want to start flying left with this guy. It's literally dead calm. It's around 80 degrees. It's probably going up to 90, 92 or 3. It's only 9:15 in the morning, but my goodness, what a beautiful day for this. So here we go. We'll see what she does. Hopefully she'll turn for me. Okay, I've got to be happy about that. She felt so much more stable than she felt the last time out with that minimal decollage. And yeah, I'm just going to go up the ladder a bit and see what I get. But yeah, when I got here at 7 o'clock, the workers were here already at this sod farm over there putting irrigation sprinklers on it because the ditches are virtually dry here. So they're pumping in the water. It's really been quite a heat wave around here. So, okay, back to flying. This time I've gone with 680. Let's say it's another 100. And oh, I want to mention that I added a gun sight since the last time. Let's just hope that he uses it and keeps this thing circling properly. Yeah, okay. Real geeked out there. Sorry, but you know, cheap thrills. It's just the way it is sometimes. Okay, feels good. I'm gonna go with straight to the west. Okay, slight dip with it. I could probably put a little bit more down thrust as I go up, but I might just end up going with a touch of nose clay, but 780 this time. I added just a touch of down thrust. Yeah, it didn't climb very much. You would think it would, but this heat, but it didn't scallop at all, so I think I should just go up in winds and see how it is as it gets more torque. 780 is roughly, it's close to 1/3 power, so it's not always a lot happening at this point. So I'm going to go over 900 and see what happens. We're going with 920 this time. No changes otherwise. See what she does. Wow, I couldn't expect more than that. Nice transition from a flat flight into the glide, what little there was, but okay, I'm just going to add a couple hundred more and see how she does. I've always felt that it's the trickiest part of a trim session is at the very beginning, because it's very easy to overreact to just little changes, things that will be sorted out as you go up in power. Like right now, the torque is taking her to the left, which is where I wanted to go, but the very first flight this morning she went absolutely straight, so just a tweak of that rudder put her there and she's in a safe place. Same thing with that little scallop. I look at that and I think, oh, maybe I should have added some nose weight, but I know that she glides very well with a dead stick, so there's no reason to touch the CG there. It's all about thrust, so that just proved it right there. Yeah, sometimes the hardest thing to be is disciplined through that process, but you really have to stick with it. Okay, let's add 200. Okay, this time I've got 1120 in her. Starting to, a couple gusts here. I don't I've been spoiled by how dead calm it is, but it's getting gusty. So I'm just going to wait this through. It's probably a passing thermal. Because of that, I've got my button DT activated. Even though this is only 50% winds, you just never know. So I'm gonna hold off here a second and toss it when it calms down. Okay, here we go. 1120 DT set. That just looked like it was tired. I'm wondering about this heat, how it's affecting the rubber, but I'm using a blast tube so that I can protect it if it does go, but just didn't look like it wanted to go up. I'm wondering if I have too much down thrust, so I could just back off just a hair and see what happens. Okay. $12.80 this time. DT set. Here we go. A little bit less down thrust. No. Yeah, boy, does that look familiar, huh? Okay. I'm just going to put a bit of nose clay on here since I can't change the thrust at this moment, and then let it play out its final winds here. I may have launched it skyward too, but it should be able to pull through that. So, doggone it. Yeah, that thrust as I go up, I'm going to put it back where it was, I think, and just go up the ladder and see how it handles it. All right, here we go with the remaining winds. Yeah, it does look nice, but wow. Jeez. See how it transitions. Oh, DT. How about that? In the grass, please. Yes. Whew. That's very close to the irrigation ditch, which is almost dry, but still. Okay. That demonstrated how torque, even at half winds, can impact that thrust setting, and then when the torque is gone, the thrust setting doesn't have as much impact, and what do you know, it turns into a really nice flight. But I don't think it's going to handle it. When I go up another couple hundred from here, it's going to start to sky, it's going to start to stand on its tail, and we learned in a horrible way before that this thing does not handle stalls, wing stalls. It can't recover that well, so I need to really keep an eye on that thrust setting. All right, here we go. $14.20 on this one, and I put down thrust back in it, so let's give it a ride. All right, that's nice. I'll tell you, that thrust thing is really close. I feel like it could have climbed better than that with that much power in it, as it did before when I tossed it with 200 less and after it had nosed in. That seems to be a better thrust angle, but if it can't handle it at launch and at torque, then something's wrong. So, okay, I'm just going to go up in winds and see if it really starts to climb. So, give it a shot. 1640 this time. I made a slight adjustment to the thrust. Backed off a little bit of the down thrust, and we'll see. Well, this is one time I'm glad I got the DT on here, so we'll see in it action. Whoa, is that up there? Wow. Well, let's hope it works. There you go. See how high it is. Okay, I just hope it made it past that irrigation ditch. Great flight, of course, I mean, wow. But that launch, that's the torque coming into play now, and looks like it's wanting to duck it in to the left, which is what you would expect with a left flying plane. So I might want to put Gurney flap to lift it up to counter that just a tad. Actually, I might just remove the Gurney flap that I think I have already in place to introduce the left flight, or the left circle. So I don't think I'm going to go up in winds. I'm just going to go right back to this, pull that Gurney off, and see what it does. Let's hope it allows it to be. Let's just hope it continues left, but doesn't dive in like that, because that gets dangerous. Because if I have another 300, 400, 600 turns in there, that torque's going to really ramp up, and she's going to get nasty. Okay. Okay, we're going to try again. This is 1640. And I've added a little bit of right thrust to it. Air is kind of interesting right now, so I'm just going to give it a toss here. Let's hope for the best. That definitely felt better. rubber's showing its age though. Okay, here's the glide. Looks pretty good. Right back to the car. All right. Yeah. Okay, so what that did was, I think, this is the right thrust, just a skosh, just a 64th of an inch maybe, of right thrust, took away that torque tendency to dive in. I mean, I may be wrong, it could have just been the way I launched it, or it could have been the air that came across the wing and threw it down in, but I don't have a problem with it going straight out like that and then turning to the left, because it's going to only continue doing more of that as I go up the next few hundred. So that looked pretty good. Here we go with 1820. Nothing more than what I did before. Give it a ride. Okay, that felt pretty good. Wow. That's the 11th flight, no, 15th flight with that rubber, so it's feeling pretty dead, but it's literally dead calm conditions right now. I would have hoped that it would have climbed a little better. I think that right thrust I gave it is a little bit it kind of takes it away from that nice circling flight that I like. I like getting to go around and round back into the wind, so to speak. So I'll have to keep an eye on that. All right, this time we have 1980. No changes. We'll see what happens later on this afternoon. I'm going to try a fresh motor. That's as far as I want to go with this motor. I'm afraid it's going to snap on me, but I was lucky to get this far. Okay. What a change from last time to this time, though. This plane really feels stable.